On this episode, we're going to be talking El Luchador with the man behind the amazing tequila, David Ravavdi, right here on the Tequila Hombre, coming up next. Hello and welcome to this episode of the Tequila Hombre, where today we have a very special guest and we're going to be talking about the new revision, the new edition of El Luchador Tequila. You know, I just, did a review about that not too long ago. You can catch the review up on the Tequila Hombre channel. Excuse me, just developed a cough right now. And so I reached out to David and said, hey, I'd love for you to come on and kind of tell us the story and stuff behind it. And he agreed to do that. So today we're gonna keep it to just El Luchador. If you want to hear about 123 Organic and about David's story, he has come on previously and he's on a previous episode. So you can check that up on the channel. We talked for like 2 hours on that episode. So there's a lot of information shared, and it was a really good episode. So make sure you check that one out if you haven't already. So let's not waste any more time. Let's bring him on. Please welcome my good friend and the man behind El Luchador Tequila, David Ravavdi. Hi, David.
Hey, Mark. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Excuse me, cough.
Good.
Yeah, I'm fine. I don't know what the cough just all of a sudden just kicked in right now. So I need some El Luchador.
Salud. Yeah, good to be back. First of all, congratulations on your 4th anniversary. As I mentioned, you're doing a wonderful job, educating people about finer agave spirits. And it's great that you're doing that because, people get educated, and then of course you're not the tequila police like Mr. Sandoval, so they can decide for themselves what they like to drink, because naturally we all have different palates and enjoy different things in life. But it's nice to be educated about everything that we do, and it's great for mainly health reasons to stay away from tequilas that have additives and coloring and flavoring, and so those are all great information and good knowledge. So again, thanks for having me back. It's always a pleasure to be with you in your company and with your group, and talk about tequila and whatever questions I can answer.
Well, great. I thank you for the anniversary wishes, and thank you for the kind words. I really do appreciate that coming from you. That is an honor for me. So thank you. So let's start things off. Let's talk a little bit about the El Luchador story. Originally it was out of 1480 out of Amatitan, and then you had a vision of where you wanted it to go and what you wanted it to become. Could you go ahead and tell us how that developed and how you?
Yeah, absolutely. So originally, naturally, I had the rights to the trademark El Luchador, and as you can imagine, it's a very sought after name in the Mexican culture. And myself personally have a very close attachment to Lucha Libre and El Luchador. I'm a huge fan. I've been to many live matches in Mexico City and in Guadalajara, and I just find the whole culture fascinating. And so anyway, when we decided, it's actually funny because I was one of the very first producers that decided to release a distill-proof tequila. And people, back then, the only other distill-proof tequila that I knew of was my friend Carlos Tapatio. And, fast forward now, every single tequila brand that I know has a distill-proof tequila. So I guess we weren't that crazy back then. Long story short, when I decided to do the distill-proof, I wanted to have a little twist to it. I did not want it to be the actual distill-proof version of the Uno of 123. I wanted to be a little bit different. That's why we did the single estate. We let the agave go extra 2 years. We did a 12-year-old agave. We left them more bagasse and fiber in the fermentation. The process of the roasting of the agave and fermentation was longer than our regular 123. So there was a lot of little things that we were doing different, and then So that locked in, and it also made sense because 110 proof was the in your face kind of a fighter of the portfolio. So the El Luchador made a very symbolic, uh, reason to be called El Luchador. So we call it El Luchador. But the intention was always for El Luchador to be a separate brand. And even from the initiation, it was a separate brand. It had nothing to do with Duro dos Tres, even though it was just being, produced at 1480 and we did all the process there. So another big project that I had is I wanted to be, I think we briefly touched base on this subject of are you a lowland or are you a highland? And I said, sometimes it comes across as an insult. Uh, I always wanted to be a producer that produces tequila from both regions. I found that fascinating. I found that fun. And I also found that a good tasting and a conversation subject because each region had its own flavor profiles and its own charm, if you want to call it. And so I'm proud to say I'm probably one of the few, distillers that has tequila coming from both regions now. I have a tequila from Los Valles, which is one of those tres, 123 organic tequila, and a tequila comes from the Arandas, from the highland, called Luchador. So in 2015, I started the next journey in my life, which was, going around and educating myself about different areas of the highlands and trying to see who I would feel the best to work with in order to execute this project. Long story short, about 2 years later, by 2017, we shook hands with Galindo, Jorge Galindo, God bless his soul, and we started laying the grounds for this project. Unfortunately, Jorge had a mishap and passed away, but we did manage to pursue the project the way it was intended to be, and with some delays from the pandemic, as we all have, experienced that in different, parts of life. We finally managed to launch the brand in 2022. I have, like from my old days of experimenting from French white oak barrel, I have quite a few producer friends in cognac, in wine, in different segments of the industry that I can get barrels from. And I didn't want to just do a tequila from the highlands. So what? Here's a tequila from the highlands. Bravo. I wanted to do something, that has a charm and something that has a something behind it. So it kind of arises the curiosity when one drinks it. It's like, oh wow, I see what he's trying to do. Or whether you love it or you don't love it, at least it's something different. Because the pattern of life is challenging yourself, and if you can't challenge yourself, then you kind of put a damper on the excitement of life. So in order to keep myself excited, I experimented with different types of barrels. I've always been a huge fan of white Burgundy Pouligny Montrachet, Grand Cru wine from France, and stars lined up. I met one of the top producers there, signed a legal contract with them that I can disclose their name, which is fine, and managed to purchase used barrels from them, French white oak barrels, 64 gallon. We are shipping those in Mexico to Mexico and aging the tequila in them. A lot of trial and error, and decided, what we would like to do. And we decided that 4 to 6 months is what I'd like this Reposado to be. And so there is that. We can, of course, talk about the Reposado when we get to it, but I'm just right now give you a little bird's eye view of the project. So that's basically really how this has started. And, as you can imagine, everything new starts slow and then starts getting more and more exciting and more exciting. And then you're like swamped with things that are happening. So it's all under control. We're very happy about it. I wanted to also do a project that's got the muscle to accelerate to larger capacity of production, because one of the issues that I have always faced with 123 is it was like the Johnny Depp's movie Blow. Every time I pick up a phone, talk to a distributor, it's like send more, send more. I'm like, okay, that's really a good problem to have, but I don't have more. There is a reason this tequila is good because I make only so much of it. If I make more, maybe it's not as good. So on that note, I designed the blueprint of the Luchador in a way that the brand initially can produce 5 to 10,000 cases, and then if needed, it can expand to the next phase of the production without compromising the quality of the juice, which is, I think, a big factor for a lot of products out there. Consistency.
Yeah, that's important. It's important. And I love the distillery that you picked. I mean, Galindo, they produce some really good tequilas out of there. I've really enjoyed some of the expressions from the Galindo line. So
yes, we have a very good collaboration there. We have sourced our state-grown agaves in 2015, 2016, which at that time they were about 4 or 5 years old. We use an 8-year-old agave grown at 6,500 feet altitude. And
I know you're quite the agave guy. Do you go out in the field and pick your agave yourself as well?
If you put a little hidden camera, you'll find my tent in the middle of the agave field. I sleep there at night.
Yeah, I know you. I know about your love for agave, and
yes, I do actually. Jokes aside, I am a huge lover of agave. It's a beautiful plant. You just have to be careful not to get poked by it.
Otherwise, it could be quite itchy for a while, uncomfortable.
Yes. Yeah, the best solution to that is you just cut one of the pen cuts and you just rub the juice to the area where you got poked, and it instantly stops the bleeding. So
I'll have to remember that next time.
yeah, because agave is the same family as aloe vera, so it has most of the benefits that aloe vera has. So.
I didn't know that. That's interesting. So when you were working on putting the flavor profile together,
yes.
I've gotten a lot of feedback from people that when I recommended it, people that purchased it, and people that tried it, and everybody so far has come back and said it's absolutely phenomenal, and it's slowly climbing to be like one of their favorite blancos and reposados as well. What were you looking for when you were creating the flavor profile? What kind of things did you want to make sure that it had before it was perfect for what you wanted for the Luchador line?
Yeah, my philosophy in production and distillation is always less is more. I was looking for the, cleanest juice that I can produce to reflect the region. And this instantly, when you put the Blanco into your nose, just a bouquet, it just gives you that fresh, raw agave with the, spices, floral notes. It shouts Highlands. So I hate to put a Uno next to a Luchador Blanco and do a side-by-side tastings, because they're two different animals. It's like if you take a great Pinot from Sonoma and take a wonderful Cabernet from Napa and then taste them against each other. It's just two different grapes, two different styles of winemaking. Their own individual style of tequila. I want it to be very simple. I want it to sit with a friend like you. Most friends enjoy, not going crazy, but enjoying as you're drinking it. Clean on the palate, enjoyable, feeling good about yourself. And that's really the main message of my brands. And I think with this Blanco, we achieved that. Of course, it makes great cocktails, but always number one goal is a sipping tequila. People usually say, well, is this good for sipping? Yes, I make only sipping tequilas, but of course they're good for cocktails as well. So it's the other way around.
Well, the best sipping cocktails the best sipping tequilas make excellent cocktail mixers as well. That's what I always tell people.
And you've been repeating that over and over, and I agree with that 100%. It is very important what kind of a juice you put in your system. Good old days, we used to big holidays like Thanksgiving, and my sales rep used to take me to big accounts, and we would like do complimentary tastings or education, and he would like, I wanted to do a little Harry Carey when I saw people coming there with a 1.75 of not naming the brand of a tequila that was like a, liquid petroleum and a, ultimate chemical mixer of margaritas next to it in their shopping basket going to check out. I wanted to go there and say, excuse me, I buy this from you. Don't put this in your system.
Don't poison yourself, for heaven's sakes.
Tell people, hey, buy a high-end tequila, get a nice Blanco, get a bag of fresh bag of Mexican limes.
Yeah.
If you like things sweet, get a little small bottle of organic agave nectar, and you're set.
Tommy's margarita right there.
And none of that stuff. It's all extra fluff. Just mix this. You can sip on this all day long, and you'll be fine. The next day, you will have no hangover. People are like, really? These 3 items together will make a margarita? I'm like, yes. It's very simple.
And the simplest one really makes the tequila stick out, and really makes for a beautiful margarita. I mean, that's what I fell in love with the Tommy's margaritas and what Julio did with that. It's just because it really highlights the tequila, and it's such an easy sipping margarita. I turned my wife onto it to the point now where she's like, hey, can you make me a Tommy's margaritas? I want to have margaritas tonight. I'm like, oh, sure, yeah. And she loves it. So one of the comments that I've been getting about the still strength, and it's something I think that a lot of people need to know, is that it doesn't drink like a high proof Blanco. It drinks like an 80 proof. What kind of things do you do to kind of make it so it doesn't?
So I think the most exciting achievement for me in this project, without disclosing, all my, secrets, was what I wanted to do is I wanted to take the whole project of tequila distillation into the next level. And it was also made it so much more fun for me because, from the aspect of 1, 2, 3, we are doing old-fashioned stone oven, slowly cooking the agave in old-fashioned ovens. First of all, I wanted to definitely go with autoclave. I wanted to do high-pressure autoclave. I wanted to engage, chemists from University of Guadalajara. We brought a lot of young people, educated people, had a lot of brainstorming on, I'm a huge sucker for pH balance and different things. And it's very important how you align pH balance. Let's say, like a lot of people taste wine, and in between tasting wines, they rinse their glass with water. But that's a big no-no because the water pH balance is totally different than the wine pH balance, and it totally changes the taste buds in your mouth. So you're not getting the true identification of what you're trying to taste. So long story short, what we tried to do, we took our water from the well that exists at our distillery, and we read the pH balance of that water, and we matched that with the pH balance in the native yeast that we're using for the open fermentation. And that just blew my mind how things just started getting different. And there's the answer to your 110 proof. It turned into, it doubles as a hand lotion. You can do a little aftershave sometimes. It's so that multi-uses.
It softens the skin.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you notice when you do pour it and you do look at it in the glass, the legs and tears that it forms on the glass really shows off that oily viscosity that it has, which not only makes it easier drinking, but also allows the flavor to last longer on your tongue. It doesn't dissipate right away, so you get that beautiful cooked agave flavor that just stays with you for a while. It's.
I think ZZ Top was drinking the Luchador 110 proof when they wrote that song.
It's got legs. Absolutely. So then let's talk about the aging. You went with the white Burgundy barrel from France, which amazing. Excuse me. The Reposado has got to be one of the more complex Reposados that I've ever tasted. Can you kind of go through
Absolutely,
your?
it's most unusual. In fact, I am thrilled myself because my U.S. base is Northern California, so I have a lot of winemaker friends up here, and I was very curious when I finalized and bottled the Reposado to call a few friends over, pour some tequilas, and of course, light few cigars, which is a must,
Of course.
and see what their reaction is to the Reposado. And I was just, it was like a dream come true to just sit back and listen to these guys, not necessarily telling me how incredible everything is, but just the things they were telling me about how they feel about the juice in the barrel and the taste profile. It was just all music to my ear. And of course, it wasn't like I just picked a, used French white oak creamy Montrachet barrel and poured tequila in it and aged it. No, we did a lot of trial and error with all sorts of different things. Definitely not use bourbon because been there, done that. I wanted to just do something completely different and
Right.
something fun. I mean, something fun. It's like, hey, why waste the time of the tequila drinking enthusiast crowd? If they want to drink something different, at least let's give it to them. It's like, oh, David made this new tequila, used white burgundy barrels. It's quite fun. Let's try it. Something different. So, it's like otherwise it's like, okay, they're all the same, different labels, different this, different that, and then, I don't know.
Well, I love the grapiness that's kind of present in this. I
Absolutely.
love that you
Very
can pick up
present.
that white burgundy.
Instantly. I had the opportunity to do a very, 10-minute tasting with one of the top somms up here. And the first thing she told me was like, oh my God, it's like I instantly detect the premium Montrachet grape in here. It was like fantastic.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So, you have the repo done. What are your visions now for an añejo and maybe a Diablito style version of El Luchador?
First of all, you're gonna have to wait until you see what the name of the extra añejo will be. You're gonna get a huge kick, but unfortunately, you're gonna have to wait for a few years. So,
Okay.
I'm not gonna, yeah. But the añejo, of course, we're using the same barrel for the añejo. And añejo is going to be aged anywhere from 14 to 16 months. We are taking barrel samples and tasting them and, making notes and moving forward. As I said, it's not a one of those venture capital celebrity packaged tequilas. It's a real brand of tequila. So once the juice is ready and it's aged and it's to my satisfaction, we release it. In the beginning, we shipped the Blanco and then we followed with the Reposado. I'm hoping that if everything goes well, we will have the Añejo in US before the end of this year, probably, September, October, November, let's see how things goes. But we are aiming for 14 to 16 months of aging. And again, Añejo, it needs to, I'm a huge fan of when you taste the tequila brand and you have an educated palate, you would know what the Reposado needs to taste like. You would know what the Añejo needs to taste like. And if there's, gimmicks and bunch of BS going on and, people package things together, go buy from somebody else, bottle it. It's like, why? Don't we have
Yeah.
enough tequila brands? Why do we need to do that? So
Right.
I think it's that taste bud anticipation of a flavor profile is what really gets my curiosity excited, and I like, ooh, I see, I see. It's like that anticipation. Oh, I see. That's how this juice is evolving in this way. Just like when let's say you have this fun home projects, you put some sticks in your bottles and you experiment and you have this and that. It's just, it's just to create excitement and enjoy it. And that's I think you'll enjoy the añejo because again, I want to have a very clean añejo. Again, sorry, some of the stuff I repeat myself, but we are living at the age where tequila category segment is very popular, and I have a lot of friends that stop drinking añejos because there is a lot of bad añejos out there. There's a lot
Yeah.
of añejos that come out of dead barrels. Barrel is like you taste like it's like, what is this? Is this like a furniture juice? Or what is going on here? It's like a dead wood flavor profile of añejo with a bunch of additives and coloring and flavoring. So naturally, a smart drinker does not want to put that in their system. So I'm a huge fan of a nice, clean añejo, and try to cater to somebody that wants to drink a brown spirit, because a brown spirit drinker is looking for that heavier weight on the palate. There is a certain complexity, there is a certain characteristic that a brown spirit will deliver to the consumer. And I'm trying to achieve that, yet I'm trying to preserve the beauty of the agave.
The agave's got to be there.
Yeah, because agave is not masked with oak, and I don't want it to be masked with anything else. Agave is primary. The rest of the flavor profiles are just complemented. They're all the supporting role. The main role is the agave. So.
Right. I'm a firm believer in that. I know you watch my reviews. I always talk about, when you look at an añejo, you want the agave to be present. It's not about, if you want all barrel, drink a bourbon, right? If you want the agave, you got to have the agave present on a good añejo. So I'm glad to hear that, and I'm glad to hear too. I know you would never use additives, but I'm glad that everybody now that's watching right now knows that they never have to worry about additives, no matter what they taste. Because there's some magic that comes out of this thing, and no, it's not additives. It's all natural, and it's either agave or it's whatever's coming out of the barrel that they aged it in. There's nothing else added. So I think that's important for people to know.
It's all the beauty of the main ingredient of your production. Use a great aged agave, grow it healthy in a nice high altitude. Source of the water, very important. Method of distillation. I mean, it's, devil is in the details.
Yes, it definitely is. All right, and I look forward to reviewing the añejo when it comes out, and hopefully you'll give me the opportunity to do that and tell everybody about it. And of course, we will carry it on ferment and still, along with, we have the full Luchador line of what's available now already on ferment and still. So anybody that wants to order it, they can right now. All right, so without wasting any more time, let's go visit in with our members and answer some questions for you. First of all, Brooks Carney, is it Brooks Carney? Looks like Carney has joined. Welcome to the community, Brooks, and glad you could join us. So Shaman wants to know, have you ever thought about releasing a high proof Reposado or Añejo in the El Luchador line?
Very good question. Yes, I have. Maybe down the line. It's just, I wanted the initial Luchador to be a 80 proof, 40% alcohol volume line. And, as you can imagine, price of everything is going up. Raw material, everything is crazy. And of course, the higher the proof, the more taxes you pay as a distiller importer. So we pay like on 110 proof that comes into US, we pay a lot more taxes than on the 80 proof. So, yeah. And of course, to pay taxes, we have to pass that on to the customer. So I was trying to, with this line of El Luchador, I wanted to keep the price, the SRP of Blanco 40, Reposado 45, high proof 50. And hopefully Añejo at 52 once it's released. So that's the goal. But a very good question, and we definitely are considering that.
Have you thought about doing like a single barrel program as well, where
only for you, Mark?
That would be awesome. We would love that. Honestly, we will be doing all sorts of projects. Yes, of course. Well, when you do a single barrel, I want dibs on the first, okay?
just one.
We'll take as many as everybody wants to get. I'm sure people go crazy about it. So my local store in Hawaii has 1, 2, 3. They should probably be also be able to order El Luchador from the same distributor. So
Yes, go tell him that.
So there you go, Brooks. Go to your actually go to your store that you purchase at, and tell them to order that you want to get El Luchador, and that the distributor can order it for you. And hopefully
Yes,
they'll be nice and.
all distributors. I distribute in 45 states in United States, and all my distributors in across the country are the same for both brands. I'm a huge sucker for working with long-term relationships. So yes,
There you go. All right. Is wild yeast used or special yeast used during fermentation of El Luchador?
it's wild and crazy yeast, not just wild. Yes, it's wild airborne yeast. Yes, it's a native yeast.
Now, do you guys propagate the yeast yourself now? Did you find the strain and propagate it and keep it, or do you just let it do open air all the time?
That University of Guadalajara situation that I mentioned to you, we put that whole project together. Absolutely.
Okay, so you guys propagate it and pitch now, so that's awesome. Assuming the añejo will be aged in the same barrels used for the reposado?
Yes.
Yes.
It will be exactly same barrels, and it will be naturally extended time. And then when the juice comes out, we will decide what sort of a filtration we would like to do and how it will be most satisfactory to your palate.
Jason says it's 1517 is the nom, Jason. So that's the one you want to look for if you are looking at bottles of El Luchador. You want it to say 1517 on it, not 1480, because 1480 is the old version, which is still good.
And
so
the bottle is also different. So yeah.
Oh, the label's different. Is
the actual the bottle, the label is, well, the label just has the word organic on it on the 1480.
oh, okay.
And also, we have a whole new bottle for El Luchador, whereas in the past I basically just used the 1, 2, 3 bottle. Welcome to the world of small producers.
You can tell it's hand blown too, because you can actually see the bubbles in it.
Yes, we really, it's not as strict as 1, 2, 3, but still I use recycled glass, and it's semi-automatic artisanal bottles and all recycled labels and so on and so forth. But in order to bring the shelf price of the product more competitive, I didn't want to go too crazy with certain items, because as you can imagine, costs keep adding up. It's just like crazy how everything is going up.
Yeah, it's getting crazy, and glass is really hard to come by right now. There's a shortage.
I'm not going to name, but I have two dear friend producers. They haven't shipped a bottle of tequila to US in 6 months because they use a mass-produced machine-made bottles from Pavisa, and they are out of that particular style of bottles. And those kind of bottles, it's not like they produce for you. They make hundreds and thousands, but they're on a production schedule. They say, okay, yes, August of 2022 we will have the bottles. So,
yeah, I know there's a couple of brands that I know have been saying that they have to get in line to get bottles, and there's like a 4 or 5 month waiting period right now when they order to get bottles, which is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, so, a lot of shortages there.
So Shaman is a friend of mine, and he also is a cigar smoker. So the question he wants to know is, what cigar do you prefer to smoke with the El Luchador Reposado?
The cigar that I sent to Mark, I don't know, did he smoke it yet?
I did, actually. It was really good. It was really good.
That was a unique one because that was a vintage 2007, and it was given to me by the producer, Alejandro Robena, God bless his soul, the last legend of the Cuban cigar that lived up to the age of 93. To those of you that get the opportunity to, learn about his cigar's brand is called Vegas Robena. The band has a golden R on it. He has a little cranky gramophone on the box too. It's very cool. I had the opportunity to go to Pinal del Rio in 1998 and stay with him at his farmhouse for 3 days, and he actually had that gramophone there at night. He would light some cigars, I brought, and he would play this gramophone. So it was pretty fascinating. 93, lively. I'll email a photograph of that year that I stayed with him to March, so he can see if he can still recognize me.
I'm sure he would. Hey, Leigh Allen, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you for supporting the channel for your $4.99 super chat. Shaman, I know it's gonna probably be hard for you to get a 2007 vintage Vegas.
No, I'm sorry, by the way, sorry, I got a little distracted because I my love for Alejandro came up, but sorry, Shaman. So I would recommend, again, being in Mexico, we get the opportunity to try different brands of Cuban cigars in Casa del Habano there because it's legal in Mexico. Vegas Robena is the brand. I'm not educated about non-Cuban cigars, so forgive me for that. I don't come across as a snob, but I only know very well Cuban cigars because I've been smoking them for probably 40 plus years. And in fact, most of the tequila dinners that I do, I like to incorporate cigars pairing with them. So Alejandro Robena, he makes a beautiful torpedo called Unicos, and that's what I recommend. But then again, it's very tough to say someone like me that loves so many different cigars and so many different flavor profiles, I would probably do a heavier cigars with Uno Dos Tres, and I would do a little bit more medium cigars with El Luchador line.
Yeah. So the one I really like that's Dominican, that's easier to get, Shaman, is the Hoyo de Monterrey Excalibur. It's a medium to full-bodied cigar. It actually matches up very nicely with the El Luchador Reposado. I also have been partaking quite a bit in Cubans as well, but they are a lot more difficult to get, not to mention illegal in the United States. So if you don't have the luxury of going to Mexico and buying them there, then but even if you do go to Mexico, if we're going to talk about cigars for a second, you have to make sure that you're buying them from the Casa de Habana, because any other place you're risking getting fake ones. So
yeah, in Mexico, basically, I would definitely recommend Casa del Habano or duty-free shop. So that's you're guaranteed that you're getting the real thing. There is, I would say, probably out of 10 cigars, 8 are counterfeit. So be very careful.
Especially Cohibas, so you want to stay away from those.
Cohiba, Monte Cristo. When I have clients in Mexico and we entertain them, I go to restaurant. Most restaurants are cigar friendly. They bring a humidor, and when you open the humidor, on the top is the old Cohibas. I do a little Moses. I part the sea and go dive down deep and find a totally unknown Cuban cigar that I know of, like a Ramon Iones or Juan Lopez or something, and it's like, it's 100% good, and it's half the price as well because it's not very well known.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, D Graham, thank you so much for the $9.99 super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you. And he also wanted to say that yes on the single barrel. So he we definitely are in for that. So I know you'll keep me in mind. So Jason Slater also wants to say the 123 Blanco is one of my faves. I'm looking forward to picking up the new high proof. Thanks for your time and sharing all the new information with us.
Try the Luchador Blanco. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, delicious. Jason, pick it up. You can always order it from Fermented Still. We have it. I've been drinking the high proof a lot, so I need to order another bottle because mine's almost empty. And I haven't been touching the regular Blanco because I've been working on the 110 proof.
I'm actually sipping on the regular Blanco and the Repo here, and regular Blanco is just so delicious.
It's very good. I mean, everything's been very good. When I reviewed them, I liked them all. I'm working on the on the Reposado right now. So I really like that one. This is already my third bottle of Reposado. So because I do enjoy this with cigars. So I've been smoking a lot of cigars and sitting with my my El Luchador. So for those of you that enjoy a good cigar with an aged tequila, the El Luchador is a great one to go with any medium bodied cigar that you like. I particularly like it with the Cueto Monterey Excalibur. So, all right. Any other questions or comments for David before we let him get back to his life and all the important stuff that he has to do every day?
This
all
is
right,
my life.
This is well. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. I really do. I know how busy of a person you are, so I appreciate you coming in and sharing your passion with us. And I'm sure everybody here really enjoyed you and what you had to say in your message. And I look forward to trying the añejo and keeping our friendship going forward, because I've really enjoyed having you as a friend as well, and somebody that I can communicate with on a regular basis. So.
Thank you for your support.
All right, well, guys, that's it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And like I always say, life is too short to drink bad tequila. So pick up any of the El Luchadors and you'll be in great shape. Salud.
Salud, amigo. Cheers.